Hello guys, my name is Amit Sani. I welcome you on StudyIQ and a very good morning to all of you. And this is the today's the Hindu paper analysis, editorials and facts both. And you see in Hindi and English both languages these lessons come. In the morning the Hindu newspaper that comes, and in the evening the PIB analysis both in Hindi and English they are published every day. So don't miss any lesson, any of the data. These are very important, and I'm telling you again and again, these are totally exam centric analysis done by me in both the sections. Thanks a lot. So we will start with the quote: starve your distractions, feed your focus. Means it is the consistent fight with yourself only. You have to suppress your distraction. These are very obvious thing, and one of the most common thing and very easy thing that happens with us. We are stressed with our conditions, then certainly our mind will move towards some kind of relaxation, and those are the distractions. They can be anything. They can be social media, they can be any of your friend, and they can be any kind of movie, moving out and going on vacation, something like that. Anything that happens on your study table, these are distractions. Okay, so you have to suppress them, you have to starve them, okay, and end them, and you need to feed on your focus. You need to develop your focus. This is the consistent practice, and it does not develop in a single day or single month. It takes months to practice the focus. Okay, and this is the only way, this is the greatest tool that you can develop. Okay, and with that you need to fight this battle, and you will be a winner in this battle if you have made your focus very sharp and strengthful. So we will start the paper now. Vocabulary, these are the important words that I have chosen. Now the articles. This article a little bit we will discuss. It is regarding the Rathole mining in the Meghalaya, the thing that is happening, the allegation on the governments and the apathy which is going on. This article is not so important for us from the exam point of view, because it is talking all about the Pakistan, Imran Khan and his 5 months tenure. He has done nothing, and it's our neighboring country, so we should know something about that. We should be aware about that, about the situation which are developing, but nothing much is there in this article. It is only saying that there is nothing to deliver till now, and those were all rhetorics. This is the situation till now, that he was only trying to prove himself morally better from others, but he has not delivered anything till now. So that's the thing. Next, Australia winning after 71 years, first time on the foreign territory. We have won the test series under the captainship of Kohli, so it's a great thing, and very much exhilarating experience India had. Now the Gandhian un-Gandhian cane. It is regarding the symbolism of Gandhi and importance of Gandhi, and how he has just been used as a political symbol in some schemes and all. And even in that symbolism also, not much is discussed in a balanced way. A lot is there to discuss. Gandhi's life is a total message, so we need to understand and decode the whole message, not any kind of a particular part of it. So that's the thing it's talking about, but it is also on the political inclination lines, so we won't delve much into the political ideological theme of this article. And the same applies to this article is also on the political lines, but somehow it is talking about the diplomacy, the bilateral relations, where religion, which is an important tool of soft power, okay, under the diplomatical rules. So soft power is important in today's multipolar world, and culture, tradition, the diaspora, the religion, these are used as soft powers. Okay, and these are very important tools, but that should be balanced, and these things should not create any kind of image for the country. Okay, these things should enable the issues. These things should not hamper our any kind of process or execution of any kind of plan, or it should not create a typical image of any country, and we should not be framed as something, because some things may be looking good to someone, but the other person, they may be miffed with this kind of image. So that's the thing, and this is all in this article. He is talking about the balanced view, and use a religious aspect cautiously, and it's a great thing to discuss, but from the opinion making point of view. apart from the political lines. You should read this article. It's a very important article. The most important discussion today is regarding the Jaitapur, that is the nuclear plant. With the help of France, we are developing it, so we are going to discuss this. Okay, this is going to be important in GS paper 3. This is going to be important in GS paper 2, and this is going to be important in again GS 2. And this Gandhi and Kin, this is extremely important for the GS paper 4, because there is a separate chapter on Gandhian ethics in GS paper 4. So very, very important, and you can relate it with the GS 1 also, because it also talks about the social situation today. And death trap, this is not much of importance. Now, the tardy response of the center and the state of Meghalaya to the plight of the at least 15 workers trapped in Rathole coal mining. You see what is important for us? The geography is important for us. This area, the area where the highest amount of rain happens, the Garo Khasi Jaintia Hills. In the Khasi Hills, there is Masinram and Cherrapunji, these places where world records are there for the rains, and maximum amount of rain happens here. And you see a lot of karst topography and the long caves. Recently, one Krem cave was found that was the longest in Asia, and something like that. So it's a area geographically very, very unique. And you see it's a plateau, Meghalaya plateau, Shillong plateau is there, and it is a part of peninsular India only. It is not the part of Himalayan range. It's part of peninsular India, and this is the continuous part. But this part is suppressed under this particular Indo-Gangetic plain, and this is called Malda Gap. So by Malda Gap, this Meghalaya plateau is separated by peninsular part of India. Okay, and this Meghalaya plateau plus these Rengma hills and all, these are part of Indian peninsula. Always remember this issue. And all national parks and all, these are very, very important. You see these are the Rathole mines. Poor people, they don't have much of options to earn the livelihood, and when these risky places are there are higher earning for these people. So these poor people, they risk their lives, so consistently they are undergoing threats. And in these Rathole coal mining, where coal is being extracted in various mines, these are small mines, in thousands of number these mines are. So here they risk their lives, but because the humid condition and many streamlets, they come here, a lot of rivers are there, these are very inaccessible terrains, so there river flooding happens occasionally, and these are trapped. In 2012 also many people died, 15 people died, but even after that the state apathy is like that they did not do anything, and even they said that it's not possible for us to shut down all these mines. So that's the very troublesome and worrisome trend. And even the center government, in sending these troops and these disaster relief forces and all, they did not show any kind of hurry and enthusiasm in saving the lives. And now all these lives are possibly all dead, but their bodies are not recovered. So this is all in this article, and it says that Toki Committee was appointed by NGT, and after repeated directions given to the state government and the center government, not much was done, and nothing was done in the towards the steps of closing these mines and all, because it's economically a huge thing. 3078 crore rupees minerals are there, and because of that, it's not a small issue. The way state government is being evasive on this issue, saying that it's a small issue and it's not important for us and we cannot do much about it, and the poor people's life, their wages and all, they are dependent on these mines. So that's the thing. And in South Garo Hills also, in 2012 many people lost their lives. So that's the thing. Now it's much. And one more thing, it is a flagrant violation of the rules under the Mines and Minerals Act that was recently passed 2-3 years back. And you must have heard about the question of UPSC's District Mineral Council. Okay, so there also some development issues were discussed for the tribal people or in the mining areas, adjoining areas. So these are related issues. So related issues are very, very important from the prelims and mains point of view. Next, Jaitapur. It is in Maharashtra. You see all along the coastal lines of peninsular India. This is in Maharashtra. This is Jaitapur in Kega in Karnataka, and Kudankulam in Tamil Nadu. These are all nuclear plants on the coastal areas, and always they are present on the coastal areas, and that's why they also pose a big threat when any kind of tsunamis or any kind of disaster that may happen. So there are issues which were going on regarding this Jaitapur issue also, because it is the world's biggest nuclear power plant, and we are developing it with the help of France company. Ariva was the company which started this, and now that company is closed. And EDF company, it submitted a techno commercial proposal to the Indian government in December last month. And Jaitapur nuclear power plant in Maharashtra, as I told you, and all these concerns you see, we want our Jaitapur, no more Fukushima, no more Chernobyl, which is there in Russia where this nuclear disaster happened. And the issue is that for decades the impact is there. The impact is still there in Japan, where Hiroshima and Nagasaki, where these atomic bombing happened, and till now cancer patients and genetically anomaly are found in the in kids and new generations, and still they are not out of those impacts of the nuclear radiation. So these are the most dangerous issues related with these nuclear power plants. And decades ago, but the project had made little progress. It started during the UPS time, okay, decades ago, but project had made little progress due to concern about the economy and safety of the EPR. Economy is related and safety is related. You see what is happening with the nuclear issue in the world, because the compensation issue, safety issues, a lot of measures are there, and due to these safety measures, these nuclear reactors, their establishment, this is becoming expensive and expensive and more expensive. The prices are way more than they were in 1990s. They are very high today, and around 15 rupees per kilowatt hour, means per watt, is the price of 2013, and it would be very high than this price today, because it is 2019. So that's the issue of the economics of it, and the safety is the biggest concern here. You see, Modi government has taken several high steps towards actuating the project, but the issue is that why they are being in so much of hurry, why they are pushing it, where India is going through a phase where surplus energy production is there in India. So there is no energy crisis in India, and these issues are there, they are not solved. So without solving them, why you are pushing this so hard when you need to do thousands of crores of rupees investment, or if any kind of trouble that comes, then there will be issues of compensation and all, and our nuclear laws, policies are not that much efficient, and the taxpayers' money would be in danger, and banks NPA situation can arise, because thousands of crores of rupees will be invested in this, and anything that happens out of these concerns, which are already there and already in discussion for many years, why you are pushing this? That's the thing. So in March 18, EDF and Nuclear Power Corporation of India, that maintains all these nuclear reactors, NPCIL, highest body in the nuclear power area, Industrial Way Forward agreement, they signed it, okay, Mr. Modi and the Emmanuel Macron, president of France, last month, after meeting the French foreign minister Yves Drian and the external affairs minister Sushma Swaraj, they said both countries are working to start the Jaitapur project as soon as possible, and we will make it workable very soon. So why this urgency? This urgency is inexplicable. The writer is saying this, and it comes before the techno commercial offer has been examined, as earlier question about cost and safety remains unanswered. So when they remain unanswered, why this urgency is there? So that's the issue. And the issues of the way I told you that India is going through the power surplus phase, so there is no need, and investment is particularly risky in the Jaitapur issue without solving these issues, without answering these questions. So delays and cost, they increases with EPR. These are the European pressurized reactors, EPRs, and all over the world, wherever they were employed, okay, across the world, EPRs have experienced delays and cost increases, okay, in like 15 rupees per kilowatt. As I told you, this is the cost, and this is very high cost, where coal's cost per unit cost is 4 rupees, around 4 rupees per unit, and even the solar energy, which was near 10 to 12 rupees per unit, they have come down to 2.4 rupees per unit in Rajasthan's one plant. So 2.4 rupees, and here it is minimum 15 rupees, and that's the 2013's data, and it will be much way more than that. So maybe it is between 15 to 20 rupees per unit. This is going to be totally unviable for country like India. Nobody is going to buy that power, and it is going to be the huge issue. and the different thing is that all that money would be invested by central government, and central government will be liable for any kind of compensation that has to be done. So it will all be funded by the public money, the taxpayers money. So all these issues are there. And in China, where it was started, financial capital cost, they went up 40% over the original estimate. Okay, so there was the problem. In Europe, it is more dramatic a scene. In France country, the home country, where it was only 3.3 billion euros, the cost. Now in 8 years it has gone to 11 billion euros. Okay, so EPR has been planned at Hinkley Point in UK also, where the cost has gone up more than 20 billion pounds. So these are very risky things as in the context of economy and the financing of it. So it would be not a very wise decision without answering these issues. Okay, and nuclear cost has been rising. And as I told you, in the National Solar Mission only in 2010, the cost was around 11 rupees per unit, and now it has come to less than 2.50 rupees per unit. So that's the thing. And you see, NPCIL's debt would ultimately be underwritten by the Indian government, as I told you. Okay, so the taxpayers' money would be burdened eventually, and investing crores rupees in these already stressed projects, that is not going to be viable. And the issues of technical problems, the pressure vessel, which is very, very important in the formation of this nuclear reactor. Okay, because of the safety measures, and that world has seen in the Fukushima disaster of 2011 in Japan and in the Chernobyl disaster. They need to maintain all these issues, but still by this company, by this EDF company, these issues are raised all over the world by different countries, that these are the troubles. In China, they said that there is too much carbon in the steel, so it is going to be a risky thing. Reactor pipes, they are also having some issues, where in France, in Flamanville, where this project was established, so there also they said issues are there. So these technical issues are also there with it. And India's flawed nuclear liability law, that's again a problem. And moral hazard is very, very great here, because since EDF can escape with limited or no consequences even after a severe accident, it can go away, because they have already said after Japan's incident that we are not liable for any kind of payment or any kind of responsibility. You cannot put us behind the bars if something happens, because these are big disasters and these are very risky things. So that's how these companies are saying like this. And you see, when they don't want to go behind the bars, they don't want to take responsibility, then certainly there is a disturbing possibility that NPCIL may have promised not to exercise its right to claim compensation from EDF as allowed by Indian law. In Indian law, it is allowed that we can take money from this company, but this company is not ready. So maybe it's a possibility that India has promised this company that we won't take money from you, we won't allow this claim. Okay, we won't go for this claim in the court. So that's the issue in the International Court of Justice. And already we are signatory to the International Convention on Supplementary Compensation, which says that if any kind of trouble happens, then out of public fund the victims would be given money. Okay, so the victims would be given money out of the taxpayers' money. So these are the big issues. And EDF's poor financial state is also a big concern. The Ariba company which started this, that is closed now, and EDF, the second company, that is also in a poor financial state, and the image is also not good. And you see, the CSC, International Convention on Supplementary Compensation for Nuclear Damage, was adopted in 97 and came into force in 2015 only. And it was in news in 2016, where we became a signatory to this, and compensation available would be funded like this. And Modi-Macron statement emphasized the need for the project to generate cost-effective energy, but it is hard to see how this is possible. It is not cost-effective. We saw that it is more than 15 rupees per unit, and government must answer several specific questions. Otherwise, it's again a deal of controversy, the way Rathole deal is, where the pricing issues are a big concern, and now the blame shifting is happening, and all kinds of disturbances are there. So why do hide these things? Why do hide these pricing issues and the conditional issues? Put them in public domain. There is no security threat under the pricing issues. Okay, so that's the issue. So yet another controversy involving overpriced French equipment is rising here. So let it be transparent, that the writer says. And in the world, if we say for the general knowledge, out of fossil fuels, 66.2% electricity is produced in the world. Okay, I'm talking about the world. Hydro energy 16.4% and nuclear energy 10.7% only. And after that, these are the renewable sources. Next, you see France is the country highest density of these nuclear power production and all. And there is a body IAEA, International Atomic Energy Agency, which has introduced INES, International Nuclear Event Scale, which is 1 to 7 scale, where 7 is the very dangerous disaster. Okay, so only 2 disasters, Fukushima and Chernobyl disasters, were of the 7 intensity. So this scale is developed by IAEA, where the headquarters of IAEA is in Austria, Vienna. Okay, Vienna. And you see in the world, if they specifically ask you that from which source they produce the energy most, so oil is the biggest source, 33%. After that, coal, 30%. But in India, it is the coal. Okay, it is more than 70% of the electricity production. We are doing it by coal, not by oil. But in the world, it is oil, after that coal, after that natural gas. So these are the datas. And next, this article is important. It says, we are only too painfully aware that this glut of image of Gandhi, avowed with such passion, frees the Indian people of any obligation to practice Gandhian way of living. It means we have made him totally ceremonial. Okay, this article is totally important for the GS paper 4, and a psychological article, a very fine article based on a kind of a literature way the writer has written it, and it has she has quoted a important person who has written something very, very logical and in a commenting way on the present situation. He has put some light on. Now see, Gandhi has become ceremonial. We celebrate Gandhi Jayanti and all. On the notes, Gandhi is there. On Swachh Bharat Mission, Gandhi spectacles are there. Everywhere Gandhi is there. But we are actually over with the responsibility by taking his name and by reciting his name in the schemes and all. And after that, we don't think about Gandhi's life, Gandhi's message, Gandhi's values. Okay, the way we do with our religion also. Okay, we don't think about the values. We only take names of the god. So the same with Gandhi, and that's how people don't feel any obligation to practice Gandhian way of living, because they think that the responsibility is over. Psychologically, it is satisfactory to them that the responsibility is over if we have celebrated Gandhi Jayanti and we have taken name of Gandhi. So that's the thing. Let alone uphold political principle or economic values. Now these political principles and economic values are only meaningful to political parties and all. Values are not important. But the reduction of the hallowed figure of the Mahatma to a social worker with a broom, they have made this thing like this. This environment is like this, where Gandhi's symbol is totally framed in a particular scenario, particular field. The way you can take the example of Swachh Bharat scheme. His spectacle is there everywhere. Okay, the spectacle have assumed a menacing ubiquity. Everywhere you see it. That means we have only confined Gandhi into this simple symbolism, and even the symbolism of Gandhi we don't understand, because Gandhi said that my life is a message. He was consistently practicing with these symbols. He was wearing khadi, he was wearing different kind of topis. Once he said that the topi of Kashmir is the most practical topi, very nice topi. Okay, the headgear, because it is very convenient. You can fold it, take it in your pocket, and you can go. So these were his all symbols, and you see these symbols were very, very important in his national ideology, in his mass appeal, in his way of life. That's why he said that whatever I'm saying, whatever I'm practicing, whatever I'm discussing, that is all my message. There is no specific biographical message from my side. I don't want to say anything to this world. This is my message, and that's perfectly right. But that's why he says that if you want to change something, bring that change inside you. So when parties are only confined till the Gandhi's spectacles and Gandhi's lathi, somebody said that Gandhi's lathi was also Gandhi also recognized that the lathi is necessary. So he totally misinterpreted the meaning of the Gandhi symbol of lathi. Lathi was a support system for the poor, and it was the third leg, as Gandhi said. Okay, apart from his two legs, it was the third leg that was supporting his stature. So the Gandhi's symbolism was very very practical, and we should look it holistically. We should see about his value systems, about his sayings, about his following, about his talking about the Gandhi's women issues, his sanitation issues, everything we should discuss. Okay, it's not only about taking advantage out of it, out of his image. So that's the thing that the writer is saying. And he was experimenting with the symbols, one of the most powerful symbols of anti-colonial nationalism. These all experimenting became a powerful symbol of anti-colonial nationalism. Okay, the khadi, he took it as a tool to fight with Britishers, and he was a very shrewd politician. We always forget this. We always take him as a symbol of peace and all. The world celebrates it, but he was a very smart person. He was a very intelligent person, and we should admire that quality also. That's why he appeared in 1930 on the Times magazine, the world's most important personality. But we don't talk about these things, okay? And we don't know as much about his cane, his lathi, okay? And regarding that, some political ideological based explanation is there, so we are not going to into details of these particular data, because these are based on some ideological differences and ideological lines. He's commenting on RSS, and also we won't go into that. But you see, one important thing is here. As Gandhi in 1915 appreciated Gopal Krishna Gokhale, who was his political guru, he said that the first devout Hindu and Indian nationalist, who was Gopal Krishna Gokhale, who declared, please publish it abroad that I am not a Hindu. When he was approached to take forward this important agenda of Hindu political sphere, when people were approaching him that make this thing very much strong, that this is a Hindu nation and only Hindus should be living here. So that time Gopal Krishna Gokhale said, if you want to do this thing, if you want me to do to take this agenda forward, then first publish this thing about me that I am not a Hindu, because it is not being a Hindu. If you think that you are the only perfect person, and your ideology and your religion and your thinking is the best one, then it is not the Hindu thinking. Hindu is only about the tolerance. Okay, we have shown paths to the world. Our values are very very important. So that was the issue with Gandhi. So writer is saying that we have taken Gandhi, we have misinterpreted Gandhi's symbolism, and that's very very important. In today's time, it is very crucial to know him deeply, because no other personality is researched more than Mahatma Gandhi. Second person is Ambedkar, one is Gandhi. So this is all written in the article. This is that much only it's important for us, and we are a separate paper, separate chapter is there in the GS paper 4. So it is based on the Gandhi's ethics and all. So regarding that, it's important. Now facts for the examination. Center plans 10% quota for the poor and 10% reservation for the economical backward section, the people who are not getting any kind of reservation till now and who are poor. And what is the condition? That less than 8 lakh rupees per year income should be there or below that, and less than 5 acre of land should be there with that person, so that he would be eligible. That person would be counted as poor under this reservation category. And article 15 and 16 needs to be amended here, and it will actually pass the 50% cap. Okay, 50% cap, which was settled by the Indira Sahni case in 1990s. Okay, Indira Sahni case judgment. So that was very famous, and there they settled that the reservation in any condition should not go more than 50%. If there is an exceptional condition, then only it should go. So that's why it is going to be very controversial, and there is a legal challenge that it would be working, or it would be called as null and void by Supreme Court. So there is a confusion, but amendments would follow here in article 15 and 16. And in 16 article, clause 4 says that adequate representation is allowed in constitution, not proportional representation. So only criteria is to bring the suppressed into mainstream, and this should be a positive discrimination. Reservation is a positive discrimination, and the adequate representation is the main basis, not the proportionate representation. Okay, so the numbers or the population numbers or the economic criteria cannot be the ground. So this is said in the constitutional explanation. But now see, it is a matter of discussion that how it is going to be, and today the bill is going to be passed. So that's the thing that we need to see the developments of it. Now India has won first time after 70 years on Australian land, and Virat Kohli was the captain. So these are the important data. And government's GDP data, next information is regarding that. They have come up with a particular speculation of 7.2% growth in financial year 19. It would have been more. RBI forecasted 7.4, but government is saying first half was very good. It was around 7.6% growth, but now in the second half it will only be 6.8%. So it's a conservative idea from their side. And according to first advanced estimates of national income for 18-19 released by Ministry of Statistics, you see there is a national accounts division that releases these national accounts data. Okay, so according to that, they are saying that in the second half only 6.8% growth would be there. And advanced estimate says that agriculture will have 3.8% growth, less than 4%, which is the target. Less than that, manufacturing sector is growing good, 8.3%. Lastly, in the last year it was 5.7% only, but there is a dramatic slowdown in the second half of this fiscal year in the manufacturing sector. It was 10.3% in the first half, April to September, but after that it is going to be only 6.3%. So this is a bumpy ride, and after GST implementation, the growth rates, they came down. Now again they are going up. So these are the important developments, and we need to see the gist of it. Next, World Bank president announces resignation. The name is Jim Yong Kim, and now they are saying that Trump is going to be dominating the scene, and his favorite person would become the World Bank's president. Next, direct tax collections, they went up by 14.1%, and net would be 13.6%. Why net? Because a lot of people pay advance taxes, so a lot of returns would be there. So after that, 13.6% would be during April to December. Okay, that is the rise. And till now 64.7% is collected, and total was 11.5 lakh crore rupees that was estimated in the budget for whole year. So 64.7% is completed by now. Now the legal challenge for this 10% quota bill, because you see it is going to be violating the Article 14's philosophy, because equality is given in Article 14, and if reservation goes more than 50, it is now going to be 59%, because already it is there 49%, less than 50, plus 10 means 59. Okay, you see the breakage of it, 7% for the SCs, 15% for STs, 27% for OBCs and all. So it is 49. Now it is going to be 59. So only 41% would be there for the normal without reservation category. So it is going to be very tough for them, and that would be challenged. That's how it may be cancelled by Supreme Court, and this happens before elections every time. Sometimes they already know that it is not going to be passed, but they announce it before the elections so the votes can be gained. So that's the thing. But we need to see the development, how it goes, and what kind of decision Supreme Court gives for that, because they may say that it's an exceptional condition. It is a troublesome condition for the poor people. Obviously poor people are there in the general category, and this thing should be solved. The caste issue should be solved first, then the reservation issue should be solved, because a lot of discussions are needed. Okay, because the ongoing process is not affecting much of the population positively. More negative consequences are there of this present reservation policy, so that should be discussed. Next, leprosy is no more a divorce ground. Mycobacterium leprae is the bacteria. It's a bacterial disease where peripheral nervous system damages and body starts rotating from the proximities. So amendment bill was there, and because it is now a curable disease, so it does not amount to a ground for divorce. It used to be a ground for divorce under these acts, so they will be changed. Next, Citizenship Bill. They say that in Assam, from all these countries where Hindus, Jains, Sikhs, Parsis, Christians and Buddhists, not Muslims, okay, these communities where they are in minority, if they have come to India before 2014, they will be given citizenship. So the state government should facilitate the welcome their settlement. Okay, so that's the thing. And next, MCQs, try to answer them. These are important, very important from in the prelims point of view, and from the mains point of view. Answer this question. This is going to churn your mind a lot. Okay, you need to think in a neutral way and in a logical way, and this is the talk of today, this is the controversy of today. You need to comment on this situation, this political social sphere, because a lot of change we have seen in the last 3-4 years. Maybe it's a positive change, maybe it's a negative change. That's your responsibility, that's your take. How do you take this issue? But write that answer in 500 words, and it should be a brilliant answer, a very brilliant topic I have given to you, because it is a quote of Gandhi. Okay, when he said something about his political guru, and on the context of it, comment on the present situation. So thanks a lot, keep watching. It was Amit Saini. Any kind of difficulties there, you can put that on comment. And the lessons morning and evening both you should not miss about PIB and news analysis. Thanks a lot.